Hey guys, it's Sierra, and today I have for you, yet again, another story time video. Yay! This is the last story time video that I actually have scheduled. If anything crazy actually happens to me after this, then I'll probably have another one a couple weeks from now, something like that. I just wanted to get all the story time videos out of the way. Like I said in my Let's Talk video, all the things that I actually said I was going to do, I am going to do. And I'm kind of trying to do it in the order that I said it, so you could just already be prepared. And don't ask me why everything looks blue in the background. That's just how my camera is going to be working for now. So basically in this story time video, I am going to be telling you guys about the first time that I was home alone. Oh my gosh. This was probably the worst day I have ever had at my father's house. It was really crazy. So just please stay tuned for the rest of that. That was like horrible. But anyway, please give this video a like and then also subscribe because they're both free, and also because I make a video every single Friday and of every single week, even on the holidays, and I have not seen that in a long time. Also, we are trying to reach 50 subscribers before we go back to school in September, and we're trying to reach 100 before we go before January 1st, 2017. And if you want to know the prize of 100 subs, you better go and watch my Let's Talk video, which was 3 videos back now. So please go ahead and watch that, and also follow my social media. At least do my Snapchat. I'm using Snapchat. I post a lot of things on there. It's like a mini vlog, except it's not on YouTube. And that's enough talking because this intro has already been like 2 minutes. So let's just go on to the story. Okay, so in the story, the characters are, of course, me, my grandma, my mom, my dad, and my siblings. Okay, this must have happened at least 2 or 3 years ago. I am turning 13 this year. So I must have been 9. I was 9, I believe. And this was like the first time I've ever been even a little bit at home by myself. Okay, so I was over at my dad's house one weekend, and if you didn't know, I don't think I said anything about this, but I have Crohn's disease. And so after I would have a bowel movement, my buttocks would be hurting. TMI, but I just needed to get that across. So my buttocks was hurting at that time. So basically my dad was going to take all my siblings to go get shoes, I think. I think they went to a shoe store and then they ended up eating dinner out as well. But he never told me that, and he never called and told me that. So basically they left, and he was like, are you sure you don't want to come? I was like, no, because my buttocks hurts. And then he was like, oh, okay, well, are you really sure? Because we might be gone for at least an hour. And I was like, okay, this will be the first time I was home by myself. And I was like, okay, I think I can do this if it's just an hour. No, it was not an hour. It was at least 3 hours, maybe even 4. Okay, so once they had left, I was just in the living room, sitting down on the couch, laying down, just watching TV, chilling out, you know? And an hour passed, and I was like, oh, they're not back. So I wasn't really worried at the time. I was just like, oh, maybe they'll come back in like a half hour or something. Half hour passed. They still weren't back. Then another half hour passed. This means it's been 2 hours and I'm sitting there and I was starting getting worried. I was like, he said he would be back in an hour, and I have never done this by myself and I don't feel like I'm ready for this yet. So I ended up getting the phone and calling him. I called my dad at least 5 times. And what happened? He did not answer any of those times. So basically I was sitting here freaking out. I was like, what happened to them? What happened to them? So, being myself, I got the phone and I called my mom because I only knew my mom's number and my dad's number. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, Daddy isn't back yet. Daddy isn't back yet. And so she was like, okay, what do you mean Daddy isn't back? So I told her the whole story. I told her that I was home alone and he said he would be back in an hour, and it's been 2 hours. And she was like, okay, well, here's what'll happen. If your dad doesn't come back in another hour, I want you to call me back and I'll have somebody come pick you up. So I said, okay, an hour passed, he still was not back. So at this point, I'm sitting here freaking out because I hadn't eaten anything that day. I had not done anything. I probably had breakfast. I don't think I had lunch, and they were out eating food. I don't even remember what restaurant they went to or what mall they went to get some shoes or even what store they went to. So I was just sitting here freaking out, watching Disney Channel, rocking out to some of the theme songs and stuff. And usually after 4 hours, my buttocks stops hurting, and at this time, it wasn't hurting a lot, but it was still kind of discomforting. It wasn't uncomfortable. So I called my mom again. She was like, okay, I'm going to have a talk with your dad about this, and I'm going to have your grandma pick you up. Here's her number. And I was like, hallelujah, because I don't know her number. So then she was like, oh, I don't have it written down, and I can't check my phone right now, so I'll just call her myself and have her come pick you up. I was like, okay. So literally I laid back on the couch. I got my shoes on, my coat on. I was just laying down on the couch watching TV with the phone and waiting for it to ring because she would call me when my grandma got there. So she called me and was like, your grandma's outside. It's time to go out. And I was like, okay. So I turned the TV off. I turned the lights off. Went to the door, opened the door, and left. But the funny thing was, I did not lock the door. I did not do any of that. And I still had the phone with me, so I could not return the phone until probably 2 weeks. And I know he was probably wondering what happened. But I ended up leaving the phone at my grandma's house, so he picked it up from there. So that's pretty much how I spent my first time being home alone. I stayed at my grandma's house. She fed me some delicious dinner, so thank you, Grandma. And I just laid down. It was probably 8 o'clock around this time, because I think they left around like 6 or 5:30 or something like that. So it was around 8 o'clock at this time, and I was just laying down watching TV, and then I ended up going to sleep because I had to spend the night there. My mom picked me up in the morning. She took me home, and she had to talk with my dad, seriously. So come to find out, first he said there was traffic, and they were in the shoe store for a long time because they couldn't find the right size, they couldn't find the right shoes, they just were going crazy in the shoe store. Why is this so blue? I hate that. And then, yeah, he did say he came to eat, and he said he tried to call me, but the call wasn't going through, and so I was just there by myself. And so, I mean, at that point, I was kind of sitting there thinking about, because I learned that about a week later, and I was kind of just like, you know, he could have called my mom. I could get to my mom, so, I mean, I did. I asked my mom to call him to see what was happening. She never called back saying what happened. He never called me back. So I was just sitting here by myself with really no one else to talk to. And I was just like at home by myself. And we have a huge house. And it was just dark. And the only lit up room was the living room. And it wasn't even that well lit up. So, you know, I was just being scared. And I just didn't know what to do at that point. But yeah, that's pretty much how I spent the first time I was home alone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please, again, make sure to give this video a like, and then also subscribe, because I post a video every single Friday of every single week, and it's right below, and all you gotta do is click it, and third reason, it's free. And that was a pretty weird story. It was really crazy. Don't forget to follow all my social media, please, especially my Snapchat. Just add me on Snapchat if you don't want to follow me on anything. And my Musical.ly is pretty good, too. And also, last thing, I just want you guys to comment down some ideas. And if you don't want to do that, just comment down, what was your experience when you first were home alone? Mine, you just learned mine, and it was really, really crazy. But yeah, that's all I want you guys to do. And ooh, it's hot in here. So I guess that is pretty much it. That's pretty much all I needed to say. So bye, guys.